Hello.
Hey, Chief, I got any pie? Bring me some pie.
Sit down. The place slightly resembles an insane asylum.
Well, all you need to start an asylum is an empty room and the right kind of people.
It's the kitchen sink.
Prepare to be astonished.
Kitchen sink.
Everything.
The kitchen sink.
And I want you to listen to what she said to us.
How do we allow a gunman to come into our children's school? How do they get through security? What security is there? There's no metal detectors. The gunman, a crazy person, just walks right into the school, knocks down the window of my child's door, and starts shooting her, and killing her. President Trump, you say, what can you do? You can stop the guns from getting into these children's hands. Put metal detectors at every entrance to the schools. What can you do? You can do a lot. This is not fair to our families that our children go to school and have to get killed. I just spent the last 2 hours putting the burial arrangements for my daughter's funeral, who's 14. President Trump, please do something. Do something. Action! We need it now. These kids need safety now.
And that was Lori Aldhef, the mother of Alyssa, who was killed in the massacre yesterday in Florida.
Strange news out of Florida.
It's
It's not a surprise anymore out of Florida.
It's not a surprise out of the United States of America anymore, and that's one of the most tragic things that I can even possibly think of, is that we have normalized children being murdered in our country.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
I hate to bring you into the
There's
kitchen sink like this, but
right.
we are tired of this. We're tired of...
There's no immigrant to blame, right?
No.
That we can't send somebody out of the country because they were a white national. A member. Do you see how fast this group claimed him? They claimed him in 2 hours. They claimed him.
Who is that now?
His white national group out of Florida.
Oh, Jesus.
They're called like the Republic of Florida or something.
The White Republic of Florida.
They're a white...
I'm glad that you're white.
I'm trying to remember how they
I'm glad you're white.
They are not just... They're
it's
not racist. No, they're not. They are all about white culture, and they want to create a white identity pocket in Florida,
and
so
nobody gives a shit that you're white. We care if you're a good person. When would you get that through your... Let me keep it clean. Through your mind. Okay? Get it through your head. Nationalism, great. You're pro your country. You want your country to do great. You bring a color. You don't have to add any color to that. Because white people don't have the answer. Black people don't have the answer. People have the answer if they come together. It's simple. And by the way, the original people. Go to the original people if you want the answer. There was no genocide back then. But to see 16 children murdered and one teacher, who this teacher...
I think there were two, actually.
Two teachers? Yeah. I believe he was the PE teacher or one of the coaches.
Yeah.
He covered those kids. And if you're not the kind of person that would cover kids, we don't want to talk to you. Of course you should cover kids. They're heroes. They're the only heroes. But
I listened to an 18-year-old boy speak with more clarity, more forethought, more intelligence,
Right.
and more, frankly, policy than all of the Congress combined today. And that boy went to that school, and he very calmly said, your thoughts and prayers are very nice, but we need action, and we need it now.
That was like that's journalism student.
He was a
kid,
he
yeah.
was
They're
the,
smarter than us. Their clarity of
course they are.
thinking is better.
Yeah,
We
they're-
can admit that. Okay,
It's
you have a
not
lot of
corrupted by
parents
all
in
the
this room.
bullshit.
Right. There's a lot of parents in this room, and I accept that we have that going for us or clouding our vision. But the youth does have the answer, and the youth are smarter, and they do have clarity of thought. And they do know unity with some regulation is the answer. And yeah, Trump doesn't know what to do. But it's very simple. You can't make an AR-15 easier to get than a pistol.
I'm gonna throw out some.
You can't get an AR-15 quicker than a pistol in a video game.
No, you
No
can't.
shit.
I mean, come on.
Let me just throw out some horrifying shootings that happened in our country, and I want you to guess the weapon that was used. Aurora.
Was that an AR-15
AR-15?
or 10?
San Bernardino.
AR-15.
Sandy Hook. Newtown.
Newtown. AR-15?
Yeah.
And a pistol.
So this one, yesterday, AR-15.
Super light, convenient people killing guns. Can you take an AR-15 out when you're hunting a deer? Is that a real... I mean, really? Where's
Not in this state,
sportsmanship?
not in California.
Where, I grew up where you
By
would
the
take
way.
a 30-30 or a 30-06, and you would go out and you get one deer for your family, and that's what you could do, and you were a stud, and you were proud, and you should be.
And you
because
had
you
food
fed your
for
family.
the winter, dude.
AR-15, the people I know, you get a deer with an AR-15, you're a joke.
Yeah, woo. Good
Big
for you.
freaking deal.
Yeah.
Okay? AR-15s are not to be handed out so easily.
No, I mean, America has an America problem.
Bad.
There's
Very
too much.
bad.
There's too much America in America. And you're listening to the Kitchen Sink. I'm Doc. That's bad.
Hi.
I'm Gear.
That's Gear.
Hey, we didn't do that, did we?
And
We
I'm
didn't do
sorry.
that, and we're sorry. We got excited.
And I'm sorry that this is such a tough entrance to the show, but we felt it was very important, especially because we all are parents, and we all have shotguns, and we all do, not particularly have a problem with people having a shotgun. You know,
Right.
We don't have a problem with hunting. We do have a problem with hunting people.
Yeah.
Disgruntled, proven, angry, adult. He's an adult. Why is he still going around the campus? He had been expelled, and then he's back at the campus. And
Right? When you get
It's just
expelled,
like-
you can't go back.
do you know that he was, when on campus, he was not allowed to have a backpack? That's how much they knew about him.
Wow.
They knew he can't have a backpack.
Do you know that he was reported to the FBI? And the FBI failed! Thank you
Yeah.
very much. That is... Okay, so here's what... We started with a plea from a mother for Trump to help her. And Trump is over there going, what can we do? What can we do? I have some suggestions, sir. Would you like to hear them? I'm sure you would. Awesome. Here's one thing you could do. You could stop investigating black identity politics because black lives do matter and those people deserve to live. You could start investigating white identity politics, especially these people who are doing paramilitary training. You could stop that from happening. How about that? That's step one.
Oh, but they're white.
Stop letting people do paramilitary exercises who aren't in the military
Right.
and train these terrorists.
Well, or make them do it at a park in downtown Liberty City and get their asses handed to them by the people that they hate so much, because they go off into the swamp and do that, and they act like they're from Florida. There's nobody else in Florida supporting that crap.
One other thing you could do is outlaw these racist communities like the ROF. You know, those places, what place does that have in our society?
Republican votes.
In an America that's supposed to be this melting pot, whatever. And this is, you know, again, I'm one of the original people, so this is very hard for me to even talk about without being super bitchy about. But that notwithstanding,
feel free.
I'm just going to try to be cool and just say, how about y'all outlaw racism in your communities? There's little signs in our town that says no room for racism. How about you just enforce that?
Right, with
like,
bullet
for
holes
real.
in it. With bullet holes in the signs. You might want to replace those signs.
I know that everyone is probably going, oh my God, you're infringing on my freedoms, you're infringing on my freedoms. But here's the thing. If your freedom is that you want people who don't look like you to be fucking dead, then that's not freedom. That's my oppression, and fuck you.
Bye. Yeah, you're gone.
That's all I have to say about that.
Straight up and down. Be pro-America. Be a nationalist.
Oh, yeah.
Don't put white in there. Why the hell did you put white in there? Why would you limit yourself to that? That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
I don't get it. And if you want to fucking shoot a crazy gun, go to a fucking shooting range. That's the only place these fucking guns should exist.
Okay, but here's my... This guy, now everybody's going to say, and our friends included, okay, the right to bear arms. We understand that.
I get that.
And they're also going to say this is a mental health issue. We want to talk about
also true.
Right to bear arms and mental health. But I think we might be on the same page, maybe us in this room as parents, but we're on this third page, and we want this page first, and it's called Children Have Been Murdered. Yeah. All these other secondary rights, those are all, when you're on your best behavior, you can have those things. But while children are being murdered,
yeah,
we're not gonna open that can right now.
Let's just stop and think. What's the first right to what was that saying that these fuckers have? The right to something and pursuit. And
right, the pursuit of happiness.
What is the first right?
Life, liberty, life.
Exactly. What is the first right? It is the right to life. So everything else needs to chill the fuck out. If your right to carry your little toy is interfering with my child's right to live, we have problems.
Right.
We have serious problems. Right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life is first. Well, and I don't mean that in a pro-life, like your fetus is a fucking, you know, what.
No, they wrote it first.
That's what they wrote first.
But now are we going alphabetical? Now does Anglo-Saxon, because Jeff Sessions said Anglo comes first.
Oh my God! I cannot believe that.
Okay, I just trolled my own show. Yeah, that just happened. Jeff Sessions thinks all of law enforcement is an Anglo-Saxon heritage.
Oh, the sheriff thing. I did hear about that. Yeah.
So how is anybody? I'm shooting people I don't like, and that I'm putting my shortcomings on, shooting them. Who am I waiting for? The sheriff? Well, I'm a white national. We probably know each other.
Right? Yeah.
We probably trained together.
That's his cousin. What you talking about? Jethro?
This white nationalism, this talk about Anglo-Saxon. There is no Anglo-Saxon anything. There's no such thing as that. An Anglo-Saxon history in America.
Like how the Good Old Boys Network is around these parts.
Anglo-Saxon? Like, has he looked
man.
at a history book? Does he mean his fair-skinned friends?
He means
right. Because ain't none of them Anglo-Saxon.
God damn. Why? It's like he's trying to hide that he's saying what he's trying to say, and it just makes it worse.
Well, but who do you call when a white national is shooting you up? You can't call the sheriff.
Why do you think we always say
because he's Anglo-Saxon.
He's gonna go. Yeah.
Is the shooter? Hello, is a shooter an Anglo-Saxon? Oh, well, you're going to need to stand down.
Well, that is a scary thing because it's actually true because this kid is alive. This child is alive.
Oh, my God. He walked out of this thing, blended in, went home, and they took him into custody.
No. He went to Subway.
Oh, you had a sandwich?
Oh, he went to Subway. He got a drink. And then he went to McDonald's and chilled out for a sec.
Oh my God.
And then, where is it here? Short period of time, about 40 minutes later, he was apprehended by police in the nearby town of Coral Springs, where he had, in fact, purchased his fucking AR-15. And they took him into custody without incident.
It's gonna open up over the next few days.
I'm sorry,
but when
but
we
if
find
I
out
was a
how
parent and a
did they
cop
know where he
there,
was?
I probably would have just lit him up.
It
I don't
feels
know.
like they were like, as soon
my
as they
brain
got the
is
call, they
spinning.
were like, we know who did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's because the kid was being monitored for this entire time. Sorry, I'm trying to burn the house down. It's fine.
I think I was, and you
But,
were
it
were
was-
helping
It was
me
a
not.
joint effort. See what I did there?
Wordplay.
And apparently he was fully aware of what was going on when he
You know, and he
arrested.
also here's a really messed up part of this. He told a friend a year ago, "Oh man, I'll shoot this place up." They're at school, and this friend told the media this, "I'll shoot this place up." And the friend said, "Man, don't talk like that. Don't say that crap to me, right?" A few periods later, he came back to that friend and he said, "I'm sorry." But you think they would have took what that student said seriously, or is he a snitch? If he would have told somebody.
That's the thing.
Because the kid came back and said, "Hey, remember what I told you? I was over the top. I shouldn't have said that."
He also apparently also made the same threat on some YouTube
Right,
channel.
right. With
on
the
a
dark
comment.
lights, I saw that.
I did not see it. I heard it on a news report. But New Day has a great point in the chat here. Legally, he purchased this gun legally. But he
Yep.
couldn't buy a handgun. No, that's crazy shit.
Right.
Okay, you can't buy a fucking handgun.
Not
no,
until you're,
he's not responsible enough for a handgun yet. He's got to be 21. You got to cool off a
Right,
little
and,
bit.
and don't miss the fact.
Hell.
Don't let anybody miss the fact that even in a video game, you get the pistol before the AR-15.
They're certainly more prevalent.
You have to prove yourself in the video game. And we don't even make it hard enough in life to where you have to prove responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What does a background check do?
And for anyone who might be thinking, oh my god, libtard snowflakes, find a fucking safe spot, you know. No, you know what? For Christ's sake, we're all hardcore country folk who totally have no problem with guns.
Didn't you notice our accents? No.
Actually, I love it whenever he starts
I
talking
know, I
about
know.
Jeff Sessions.
Well, I tell you what.
No, whenever you start talking about Jeff Sessions,
Yes.
you cannot even help it, my friend.
Right.
You
Both
just
of
start
y'all
going
motherfuckers.
like Hal Hewer, or whatever his name is.
Hauser.
Hal Hewer.
Rest in peace.
What
Sorry.
are you trying to say?
Well, I'm clutching my pearls. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't even know where the hell we were.
We went country.
Oh, we did, because
And we
are.
love country people. We're country folks.
And it's
We're
not
not
a
city
thing.
people. We're not afraid of guns.
We're not afraid of skinning a
We're not-
deer, for Christ's sake. But what we're saying here is that you can... I don't understand when Americans got so tender and fragile where they cannot hold two thoughts in their head at the same fucking time,
Oh,
man.
my God.
Pussyfied.
Pussyfied.
Oh, my God.
If you're
You're
country
so
people,
right.
you ain't pussyfied, and you know this, man. You can hold two thoughts in your head at the same time. You could say, listen to me. I do enjoy shooting a TV to death. Man, that feels good. But I know after that, I'm going to go lock that gun up and make
Right.
sure it's away from my children.
But you got to be able to do three at a time. You got to be able to ponder, wonder, and think at the same time. Yeah, but lock it up. Well,
Yeah.
you know, he was living with friends, and I do feel bad. This
The
guy,
kid went
his
through
his
some
father
shit.
died 5 years ago. His mother died like in November. So he's crushed. His heart is crushed. But why do we allow people around us who are feeling crushed or depressed, and we look around us and we see them, and we don't do anything about it? We don't pull them back and say, I see you've had this loss in your life.
And
Let's look
you know,
into your life and how you can make it better.
that's kind of unfair because people did try to help him.
They did.
The people that brought him into their family, like, they tried to help him. And,
Right.
you know,
That was a brave family, and they operated outside of themselves. Because they told him, yeah, you can live with us, but you have to lock up your gun. Bless their hearts, they said, nobody is wrong
Right.
to say, you need to live with me? leave your gun elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody
I
should
would've
feel
said the
like they're
exact same
stepping
thing.
on rights for that.
Yeah.
No, if you want to have your gun, that's fine. I just don't want it in my
You're
home.
in a life transition.
Yeah.
Maybe no guns.
My house, my rules.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I've had a close experience with this. I had a friend living in my house that was down on his luck, and I literally vacated a job and gave it to him, a DJ job. Stayed at my house. This guy had a 22 pistol. A 22 pistol is barely even worse. One rule. You come live in my house. But my son will share that room.
So no
pistol.
guns. Right.
He couldn't do it. He got rolled for a pistol. Like, people have this attraction. It's like, get your life together. You don't need a gun.
I don't understand.
As soon as you get your life together, we'll go target practicing together.
Right.
But you don't need things that can end lives around you when you're depressed, sad, and lonely.
Or volatile, man. I do not have a gun because I would probably shoot somebody with it. You can ask anybody in this room that I have a
Before
temper.
we started this show tonight,
I've already threatened their lives 3 times, you know? That's what I do.
4.
Maybe 4.
3.5 times. I would say 3 times because we wrestled the gun away before the 4th time. So 3.5 times she threatened our lives, but we're safe because we hid the guns. We put
Well,
them
because
away.
I don't have any, because it's irresponsible of me to do so, and that's the thing. And what I find very, very, very upsetting is that we are putting the onus on mental health patients here. You know, I think that people need to look at this logically and not hysterically. And what we're doing is we're looking at this shit hysterically. And these kids at this school were looking at it more critically and more logically and more reasonably than anybody else that I've seen, including the people in the mainstream media. So I give them a lot of props. And these kids had just gone through what I can only describe as a war zone that I could never, ever even possibly imagine going through, right?
Yeah.
And this kid is sitting here going, you know, we need policy, we need procedure. He's not asking for people to give up their guns either. He was asking for them to take a look at this and be thoughtful and use some brains here.
He didn't say anything specific. He was like, we need to figure something out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's figure something out.
I really, really like that.
It just feels like iPhone stores go through more than gun stores. It's like they're more regulated, they're more dialed in, have more clarity of thought. They know more about your account.
I'm wondering though if it's not the person's fault more than the tool that they're using.
Right. Ladies and
Because
gentlemen,
you can
Red Man.
kill anything with just about anything.
We understand
So
that point, but look, you can't kill 17 people with a knife like that in that amount of time in that situation.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
But you can with a homemade bomb.
You
You
can.
can with a car.
I mean, if you
Like,
are going to try to
it's
kill
very
people,
simple.
but what we're saying here is that we have an epidemic. We have to stop having this esoteric argument and start looking at the facts. And the facts are that you probably missed the whole part where we're like, we don't want to take anybody's guns, we don't care about that, but we don't want to be able to hunt people.
I know all that.
You know? Like, hunting people is way wrong, and that's what this is amounting to at this point. Right? So what we've been saying here is that we watched the kids at the school make some really intelligent statements that said, look, we don't need your thoughts and prayers, basically. I'm paraphrasing here. What we need are policies and actions that stop this from happening over and over again, because it keeps happening. It needs to stop. America has this problem and the rest of the world doesn't. So it's like, it's Occam's razor. And what I said is like, Americans are so hysterical that they can't entertain 2 thoughts at once about this issue. They can't entertain the thought that somebody can have a gun and be responsible, and we should have some ideas about being sensible too, right?
That's so true. So true. When did we lose this?
Okay, wait, but what if there's not a solution that satisfies both criteria? Right. I mean,
look, when the government takes over, when the government infringes one step too far, we're going to need those guns. Or will we psychologically be able to convince our friends, neighbors, families, brethren, sisters that are in the National Guard at that point,
right,
to hand over their weapons?
I'm not sure.
Because it's going to be the National Guard and the Consumer Protection
Agency. But like
Agency.
with anything, if you hand over everything that you got,
right, we can't.
And you become a legal, law-abiding person, then the only people that you have to worry about are the people that are criminals and are not caring about the laws and going to take advantage of you. And there's always going to be quite a few of those, and then they're going to have the things that you wish you had.
So if you outlaw guns, only guns will have,
oh God!
If you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. That's what it is.
But also, again, we need to start thinking about how, like, this is affecting. Like, we're arguing it in the esoteric and experiencing the realities of it in reality. You know, people are. What's happening here, in reality, is that the NRA and the gun manufacturers have gotten together and they have been let run awry. They've been let to run amok, is what I meant to say. They have bought Congress and they're just doing whatever the fuck they want. And I don't think, as, you know, true kind of libertarian type people that we are, like rebellish people that we are in our own ways, that we want that at all.
Hold up a second. How are we still talking about the shooting today?
We're talking about the whole issue, the issue as a whole. The issue as a whole is that the NRA and the gun manufacturers have gotten together and bought Congress and have really gone against the basic wishes of the American people. Most Americans are not against most of the basic gun control measures, and I know that's a big scary word, but I'm talking like background checks and things like bump stocks and mentally ill people not having access.
People, I mean,
are
give
you
them some sort of.
That these people that are doing these mass shootings are products of the NRA, or?
Oh no!
Where the hell did you get that from? No, I'm saying that the NRA and the gun manufacturers are running the show, and Congress is sitting on their fucking hands doing nothing because the NRA and the gun manufacturers are buying Congress. So now all these mentally ill people are able to get their hands on very dangerous things that they wouldn't have 30 years ago when Ronald Reagan and George Bush were in charge, and they were very conservative Republicans saying, hey, we don't think mentally ill people should have guns. These idiots just rolled back those protections. I don't think that's right. That also needs to stop.
There's also a severe lack of fucking mental health in
yes.
this country. And, you know, why don't we fucking roll that back in? Obviously, there's some sort of correlation between the two. I mean, when mental health started disappearing from here, weird shit with guns started happening.
Right, and you can see it happening. A lot of people have been asking why these types of shootings have been so much on the rise in the last 3 years. And it's because there have been some studies done, and it's because the mental health services have been rolled back so much that the jails are full of mentally ill people who have done things that would not have been done had they been, you know, under the care of a physician.
And or maybe big pharma with opioids.
That's another that's actually another big factor in it, is that we have a lot of people who are on heroin as well, and they're desperate. And that started with the overprescription of a lot of, and that's a whole nother show, but, you know, there's a lot of societal factors.
I wonder too if it doesn't have something to do with the the terrible fast food epidemic that everybody is on, and everybody doesn't cook for themselves, and they eat everything out of a box or out of a fucking drive-thru.
Well, I've never shot anything, though. I mean, I've never shot anybody, and I have depression, and I have, like, anxiety, and I eat terribly, and I have never had, like, I really have never had the urge to honestly shoot anybody. I mean, all joking aside, I've never tried to kill anybody, like, for real.
I did see a chemtrail.
You've never had the urge to shoot somebody. Don't lie to me. You know you've had the urge to shoot somebody. You've just had the self-control not to.
That's what I'm saying, is, like, I would never kill anybody. I have that moral compass, but other people don't. And if they have the access to the weapons because these fucking corporations are out of control, what do you think's gonna happen? It's simple. It's the easiest thing in the world. And under the guise of they're coming for your guns, Jesus Christ, run for the hills, they're controlling people. And it makes me very angry because in the meantime, children are dying and other people are dying. Americans are dying. This is a huge epidemic to the point where, did you know this, you guys? They can't even study, the CDC can't study gun violence as a health crisis, as an epidemic, because the gun lobby has quashed it so hard. The gun lobby is huge.
It's not health.
Controls.
It's not health related. When people die.
Oh, God. It's the idiocy of all of it that just makes me want to scream, you know? And no one wants, in this room, wants your guns. We want kids to stop dying, and we don't know how to get there. We are not claiming to have the answers.
I want all your guns.
You can't have any of them, because you have your own. But I mean, honestly, like, I don't want to have the esoteric argument over and over again, because that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is we have an actual problem. And people are over here, but what about this? It's like if you're fucking bleeding to death and somebody's holding a tourniquet and saying, you know, if this tourniquet was a different color, it would probably absorb the blood better.
Right.
And you're like, I don't give a shit, just give it to me or I'm gonna die, you know?
I do have to say something about your CDC comment, because I don't know if the CDC has anything to do with guns, because they're a disease control center. Like, how does...
They study epidemics. There's a science behind epidemics, and the gun violence problem is an epidemic.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. I get that.
It's not that it's like, you know, it's hard to explain, but if you understand, like, how epidemics work...
Only the CDC is smart enough to see that it's a gun violence epidemic ending in death.
Look at it like that.
Okay, but no government agency can...
They have the right to own guns and bear arms for so many years. So now they've got it in their head a long time ago that this is the right way to do things, and this is the way that God told me to, and that this is the only way that we do it. And then they pass that down to their children, and then their children pass it down to their children, and it just spreads and spreads like fucking virus.
I don't think Jesus has any good gun quotes at all in the Bible.
You know, this has only been happening really for the last, like, 30, 40,
Because, like, in the
50
Old
years.
Testament, there was a lot of guns, but it was hard to get bullets.
Are you trying to say my story was not factual?
I feel like I'm one of the only people that maybe could poke a hole in it. Just with love. Just with a little love.
You don't know Jesus. You never met him.
First off, it's pronounced Jesus.
Yo, motherfuckers need him.
We love you, Red. When you coming back?
Couple weeks.
Oh, fuck you.
Really?
I wanna hear it.
Bullshit.
I don't believe you.
You fucking lie to me.
You don't you ever lie to us.
Not like that.
Unless you need to.
You know, a couple is two. So if you mean more than that, say a few.
Yeah, it's
And then
one
it's
next
kinda
to
more-
another one,
more
and that's
open-ended.
two.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not one next to five.
Yeah, and then that one, yeah.
Let's say a few more than a couple.
Well, fair enough. He's been exact.
He's a liar.
Red, always so precise.
I think the thing that pisses me off about this gun argument is that people just have a wall about it, and I really don't. Like, I don't have a wall about it. I want people to understand that I'm pliable about it. I'm on both sides because I can see the super liberal side, and I can also see the super conservative side because I come from both worlds, right? But at the same time, I don't see why people in this country have such cognitive dissonance that they cannot.
That's what we really need to be talking about too, is why. Why is this happening? Why are these people going into these places and shooting these kids up? Like, he went to that school. He'd been training with, supposedly.
He was doing paramilitary training with the Republic of Florida.
Training, some white nationalist group of some sort.
Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because we know him more than we know the name of the coach who laid on students to take bullets for him. Because his life is destroyed as far as he's concerned. His family's all dead. He's alone. He's depressed. And he's an idiot enough to take it out on other people as though those people killed his parents, as though those people made his life what it is. And he attacked and killed people when all he needed was to ask for help until he found it, and not have the people around him ask him for help to be saved from him.
And he had help.
He felt like he had nothing, basically. He felt like he had nothing left.
Right. And this infamy will never be the same as famous. It's just, you know.
But it's a feeling of you have nothing left. Why not just take everybody out in the glory with you?
Like to him, it's some blaze of glory, you know.
But what bring? I guess the kid was an orphan. His parents had died.
Yeah, I mean his mom had just passed away, which is, you know, we talked about this in the first part of the show. I'm sorry we didn't catch you up. We didn't really have time for a break to get you up. But
and he also had broken up with his girlfriend as well.
Well, but you know what? Let's be fair. Let's be fair. He's 19. Okay? You know how many kids lose their parents as children? He was 19. His dad died a couple years ago. His mom died last year. Grow up. Deal with it. Take it in. Because now you've taken 16 or 15 children from their parents, 15 brothers and sisters from their families, you know, and made millions of people hate and feel this pain deep within them, and this discussion come, you know, to fester back to the top.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about, because it's a white kid or whatever, we're going to say mental health, and we're going to say we failed him through mental health, and it was a shame that his family died. But the truth is, most people asked if he was an immigrant first. Most people asked those kinds of questions.
Oh, he's Antifa.
He's Antifa. What was he wearing? Was he wearing a mask? People speculated on the footage from a helicopter how dark his skin was. Well, man, Cruz is his last name.
Oh,
well, my cousin's last name is Diaz, and they're as white as Donald Trump. So you tell me what's happening here. The point is, depression cannot lead you to hurt people. Depression should lead you to reach out to people, and a reach out looks like a hug. Hug people. Don't grip a pistol and squeeze. That's not the way to handle
Squeeze people, not pistols.
Right. Triggers. Squeeze people.
Not triggers.
That's from Bad and Doc and Gear and Red. That's for you. Put it on a shirt. Squeeze people, not triggers.
Trademark. Copyright.
Merch available next week.
We're going to have stickers.
I apologize. I'm trying to bring some kind of levity into something.
Because we can't make sense
that of it. You know, there's no sense to someone. These are his peers. These kids are going through the same thing he's going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got homework, they got struggles, they got relationships, they're growing, they got their personal chemistry, no parents, and you're gonna break out the glass and shoot into that room? You're gonna shoot into that room?
I mean, for fuck's sake.
These are your peers, they're with you. One of those kids you were shooting at didn't even turn you in.
Yep.
Because you apologized. I mean, and I don't blame that kid because he's working the best with what he's got. But this kid turned around and did what he said he was going to do. Shot up the school.
And it's just another time we're talking about another mass shooting in this country. And other countries don't have this problem because they don't let the gun companies and the NRA buy their goddamn government and run amok.
And by the way, the government hasn't taken them over and run them into the ground and taken their rights and killed them all. That's a narrative you're buying into of bullshit.
Yeah, that is a bunch of bullshit.
Do we
They're very
need to be
happy.
able to protect ourselves? Yeah. And you know how deep it goes? Yeah. That's how deep it goes. This is an age of nuclear war, okay? Do we need to protect ourselves? Do we need to have a gun? Yeah. Above and beyond that, an arsenal? Nah. I mean, you're buying into literally your grandpa's or your father's most animated, dramatic narrative that they ever gave you after they had a couple. And you're buying into that narrative like it's like, this is how it is, man. The government's coming for us. We've got to have, an underground stash arsenal of AR-15s, and we got to be able to mobilize, and we got to attach the term white to nationalism.
God,
Which the best, by the way, the best thing about growing up on Saturday cartoons for me was I'm not playing, was the Super Friends, but also
Super Friends.
When we sang about being a melting pot. You remember that?
I do. I remember that shit.
And I was like, oh, that's because we got the coolest of all the people.
Yeah, right? No shit.
We have the best. We're
that
a
was
melting
the whole
pot.
thing, right?
Yeah. Have you ever heard a politician even say melting pot in 20 years?
Now it's immigrants. Jesus Christ. It's
My
the
God.
And you know what? The other part of this, which Beard brings up, which is a great fucking narrative
I love Beard. I love Beard.
is if you got a badge and you got one of those AR-15s and you kill somebody, you're a goddamn hero. You know?
Right. Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
a first responder.
No. It's, no. I mean, death is death. I've had enough.
Oh my God, I saw a commercial
Don't you
last
remember
week.
Anglo-Saxon heritage? It's being a freaking officer of the law.
Don't you know that? You gotta be an Anglo. I need to tell that to Trump's favorite sheriff, that black guy.
Well,
David, what's his name?
PG&E has a commercial now that says they're first responders because they give you your electricity back.
What the fuck?
What?
They're first responders. Bull. You're not a first responder. But let's get to what Red was saying.
No, wait. What if there's like some machine in some house that's keeping some grandma alive or grandpa alive?
Or like me, keeping my internet. Because
Yeah.
when I lose my internet, I flip out.
You are
There is
so
a
dead.
14-year-old
So maybe
girl,
they are first responders.
like a 14-year-old girl down the street who's like way needs to Snapchat and Instagram her food. So if you like don't have her, she's totally like they are heroes, okay? Because they put the power
my
back
God.
on.
So I'm looking at our talking points, which we never write down and we don't adhere to. And when the facts of talking points comes in at the station, it's a race for the three of us or the four of us to see who can burn it the first.
Right.
But
It's always busy here.
we could either talk about the Trump's lawyer admitting
Yeah, we need to have a
to
better
Stormy,
topic.
or
Yeah.
we could talk about Shaun White.
I think we need to talk about Stormy because that's just too good. Red, did you hear about this?
Yeah, I heard that the deal between her and the lawyer and Trump got dropped because the lawyer talked about something about their non-disclosure issue that wasn't right. So now she's able to talk about whatever the fuck she wants now. So she's gonna tell her whole story.
All right, moving on.
So, no, wait.
He covered it.
But wait, there's more. She apparently has a Monica Lewinsky dress.
Oh God. Oh
What?
God.
I see. This is why Gear is the boss of us all. Okay?
Stormy Daniels kept the dress.
She always saves a morsel of information.
I don't know why I know that, but I do.
She has a dress.
What do you do? How do you do? Whether you like put it in a bag afterwards and you're
Is
like,
it
I'm gonna
lingerie?
save this shit.
What did she vacuum seal
look-
it?
Yeah,
Why
what
would
the-
you
what the
think
fuck?
to do that? That's the only, like, my thought process would never include this, but the only, on retrospect, thinking about this, now that I know this woman did this,
Right.
that's a blackmail in the making, man.
Right, right.
No shit.
That's the only
Right.
reason you would do that.
Right.
Is to be like, all right, this bitch did that on
Right.
this, and so I'm gonna put this in a bag and keep it for later.
When am I gonna need this?
Oh, when he runs for president, word.
All right.
Like, what? What?
I think she's smart, man. I'm sorry, but I think she's far smarter than anybody she did business with that night.
I'm pretty sure that's
And
obvious.
she continues to show it. It's so funny.
The other extra, I'm gonna go extra on y'all. The more fun part is that little Eric is gonna be printing a newspaper for Daddy so he can get spanked with it.
Oh yeah,
it's a
right.
new
He's bringing
newspaper
back
for
the
him.
Trump magazine.
Yeah, so he's got his own name on it, so
Well,
it's
but-
even
well, but
sexier.
you got to be open-minded now. Think about like the concept of text, page after page of text that you can peruse, all connected, right? It's bound together.
Oh, is
it's a
it like-
magazine. It's called.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
like it's analog.
It's brand new stuff.
It's analog.
You
Smells
gotta
like
open
rich
your
mahogany.
mind, man. It's a brand new development.
What'd you say, Red?
Smells like rich mahogany and fine.
Rich Corinthian leather. Well, but no, the magazine went out of business like 6 years ago.
When all other print media died.
Right. When print media died, the rightful death that it died. But the Sun sees a chance to make some money and reprint some old articles and sell some manga hats.
Print
Right?
media will be king again.
Yeah, it'll happen.
I promise you this. This is like, I think Colbert said
I
this
just
is the...
got your MAGA statement.
What?
I just got your MAGA statement. I didn't realize what that meant.
Make America great again.
No, Mueller
look,
ain't going away.
Well, look. Oh my God, that's good.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I didn't
But
do
look,
it.
we're gonna need print media for the bonfires for when we're all on the Fury Road at the end of all this, because at the end of Trump, there's a little road called Fury Road, and there's a guitarist playing flamethrower. It's the end. It's the end, basically.
Oh, is that the end of the parade?
Listen, it's only going to take 10. The parade will only cost 10 to 30,000 million. Excuse me, 10 to 30 million dollars.
Plus the repaving of all the roads in D.C.
And the commerce that it shuts down.
And, the retooling of all the buildings
We
in
got
D.C.
we got military in Jeeps with 3 wheels. Okay, 3 wheels on their Jeeps.
Tricycles?
No, just 3 wheels on their Jeeps.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a parade. We might want to put a 4th wheel on the Jeeps.
Maybe.
That's a thought.
Red leaders
If you get
stay
enough
on
people in the right
target.
corner, you can pull it off.
Well, let's solicit Red.
Red leader.
Red.
Red leader.
Red, we were wondering if we could just go ahead and solicit you for a donation for the military parade.
I'm always up for making money.
Oh my God. We should make some merch, I guess. Some little tank.
Are there gonna be like banners?
Oh my God! No, there's gonna be dogs.
Trump's in the backyard.
Are people?
Well, they will bark if you say that. Please don't say Trump or
Don't
my
say
dogs.
MAGA or Trump.
They will, or Russians. They will get them. They will all start barking.
So like,
I'm
if
not
you're
kidding.
If you're gonna make money on this, Red.
All right, Red.
If
Moneymaker.
you're gonna make money on this, so are there gonna be like banners for other businesses that like you could like buy a spot on the parade or
the
like
MAGA parade co-sponsored by Red
Yeah,
Man.
exactly. Yeah.
Maybe, but
You'd have
they're
like
gonna be a
floats
lot
made for
smaller.
like big pharma and like the fucking NRA.
Our
and shit.
band is going to be on a float, just like
He's gonna make a giant
Ferris
Wrigley.
Bueller. We're going to Ferris Bueller afloat, and Red's going to lead us to victory.
Red's gonna play the flamethrower guitar.
Yep.
you guys will have to pay a whole lot more money though to get your floats in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to pay for mine first off.
Right, you got to pay to play.
Yeah, it's like LA, for sure.
And then afterwards, all the rest of the fees go to your floats. But mine has to be paid for first.
Trickle
by
down
your...
floatonomics.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Trickle down floatonomics.
The money just floats
Does that
slowly
mean-
down.
Does that mean the guy at the back is the richest guy?
All right. I just
No, because all the
Oh, actually down.
it just, it money doesn't fall down very
Right, it
gently.
kinda-
it just
yeah.
kind of goes flop, and then it just kind of.
And be glad it's not a
Flutters
Mardi Gras.
about.
It's not a Mardi Gras parade because you don't want nothing trickling down on you.
No, you really don't.
You will double
I
shower.
learned this from a college course.
Happy
that I
Lent,
went-
everybody. Hope you gave something up.
I gave up America for Lent.
Oh my God! So somebody texted me today. What did you and the crew from the show give up for Lent?
Oh no. what did you
Okay,
tell
so
them?
everybody needs to say what we're all giving up for Lent.
America.
Now here's the problem. I misread it. Thought it said, "What are you giving up for rent?" I said weed. I said weed, but not really. But not really. So what are you giving up for Lent, dear?
America.
America?
I'm totally
or
giving up
America? You giving up
America.
all the letters?
All of them. America. Okay, with the triple K. America.
All right, bad. What are bad?
Yeah.
What are you, sir? Bad. What are you willing to give up for Lent?
Ding, 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 ding. Tolerance.
Oh, wait, you're gonna be a dick for a while?
No. I'm gonna give up my own tolerance of injustice.
Okay, I like that.
Oh.
That's good. Red.
Do we have time for my mind to be completely freaking
Yes.
blown by that? I love it. All right, we're turning to Red. What would you give up for Lent?
I guess.
Coming home, fucker.
His
No.
dog.
What am I giving up?
Our next band practice.
Why do I have to give up anything? Why
Okay,
can't
he's
Because
not
you're
giving
Catholic.
up anything.
Hey, Red, why are the freaking Catholic Church asking you to give up anything?
Because they want all your money.
Usually they're only asking little kids to give up something, and I'm not even going there.
Candy.
No,
I don't want to give
something
up
way
anything.
worse.
Keep it all because it's all mine. So stop trying to steal my shit.
It's all Reds.
Doc, what are you going to give up for Lent?
Oh,
Ah,
I didn't think about that part of the question.
you didn't ask yourself that, did you?
Oh, I didn't. That's why I'm not good. What am I going to give up for rent?
Rent.
Well, apparently I'm giving up jam sessions with the crew until Red gives back.
No, we just need a drum machine.
Oh!
Give up- No, that's not nice.
Come home!
Red!
Oh my goodness.
Drum machine can't put in my offbeat.
No, they can't. Nothing can do what you and I do together when we're playing drums and bass, man.
The backbone.
The weirdness. We're weird. We have a weird bass
We're,
line.
you know what though? And not to toot my own horn because I don't play a horn.
right now because I've been practicing, and I got a drum set over here, so I'm
Well-
keeping in the rhythm.
La-di-da.
Yeah.
I ripped my fingernail off last night, so I can't play anything right now.
You know, we don't
That's right.
practice a lot, but we're flipping incredible.
We're fly.
Like,
You know,
That's
the
because
new-
we're always practicing up here.
The new word everybody's using is fresh. I want you to know that. That's what the kids are saying. It's fresh.
you're talking to a grandmaster
Dude, there's a fucking
of
sample.
hip hop. Like KRS-One told me you're finally
more like
accepted.
fermented.
You're a grandmaster, and now fresh is finally an acceptable word.
30 years later.
Yes!
Bitch.
I'm a fly
Hey,
girl.
Look, and let me tell you
I don't
something.
know. Fermented or
This is
pickled
now an
is the word I
accepted
say.
hand sign. And I want all our listeners to look
Look at that.
at the hand sign. Is it the devil or is it the rock?
It just means metal.
See, to me, this is the goddess of rock, the frost. The one and only. Like, I think of rock, I think of you.
Thank you.
Oh.
When I think of
The
Grandmaster
crown
Fresh,
of
I
rock
think
and
of you.
roll, like, is the queen's crown, and it's on you when I think of it.
thank you very
Straight
much.
up and down.
All right,
I
enough
mean
of
it.
that. My head's gonna get too big.
Okay,
Enough
well,
of that.
let's move over here to bad.
Wait,
Oh my
what?
god.
Because when I think of what computers want to do, what if they had a day off, if they could kick it with their favorite celebrity, they'd call it bad. They'd be like, I just want to kick it with bad, do whatever bad does.
I feel like that's what microphones do.
I am
for
no
you.
celebrity.
They're just like, hey, it's Doc. Hi, buddy.
I did have a microphone kill itself once.
Talk to that guy.
Yeah, that's what drums do for you.
Oh my
Like,
god. Drumsticks in other people's hands?
No, it's not right.
Licorice.
Brilliant.
Licorice sticks. In Redman's hand? A drumsticks, please?
Carrot sticks.
Carrot sticks.
Oh my god.
Infinite carrot sticks
Go
that
home.
rock.
Go home. Go home. We have
puppy.
Wild Kingdom here. Go home. Alright, I think we're probably about done with this madness for
I
tonight.
want to mention something.
Well, then fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to bad.
So, there's this company that's trying to take over your airwaves. They're called Sinclair Broadcasting.
Ah.
Where have I heard that?
I don't know.
Sinclair Broadcasting.
Yeah, and they are trying to, I'm going to say, gobble up the media outfit known as Tribune. They own a lot of newspapers. They own some television stations in a lot of the same places that Sinclair has already set up shop, and that's not cool, according to the old way.
No, it's not. It's shady as fuck.
The decision to review the merger, as it were, was supposed to take place on Sunday, the 11th, but I didn't hear anything up until now, and there's some shit going on. It's gonna be a little bit longer, apparently, if it even happens. Somebody called Frank Pallone, a New Jersey, of course, Democrat, is calling for investigations into Ajit Pai's relationship with Sinclair Broadcasting. And this is, by the way, this is a story brought to you by the Chicago Tribune.
Oh my, you incestuous bitches.
He says he is particularly concerned about reports that Chairman Pai may have coordinated with Sinclair to time a series of commission actions to benefit the company, Pallone said. I am grateful to the FCC's Inspector General that he has decided to take up this important investigation. So the FCC is going to further look into it, specifically what the fuck P. Sajid has to do with Sinclair Broadcasting.
Oh, that's not funny at all. I'm not laughing. Inside.
Now, the Inspector General, David Hunt, in a meeting that took place in December with congressional staff, confirmed that he was investigating questions lawmakers had raised, said blah, blah, blah. They're looking into some questions that some Congress people had. Now, Pallone, the original guy that called for this investigation, whatever, that's the same word. Some guy called Elijah
Speed it up,
Cummings.
motherfucker. It's fucking 1 minute.
Fuck off,
Shut
dude.
up. It's our show.
We started late. And Pallone and Representative Elijah Cummings from Maryland, he's a Democrat,
Yes, he is.
said Ajit's regulatory moves, quote, when taken in context with reported meetings between the Trump administration, Sinclair, and Chairman Pai's office, have raised serious concerns, end quote. So, the timing of everything, again, is what's fucking everything up. I mean, anyway.
They think they can get away with anything.
Yeah, no, I know, and
they can't.
Tribune is a huge fucking media outlet, and Sinclair has spent the last, I'm gonna say, 15 to 20 years buying up television stations in these smaller market areas where Tribune undoubtedly has been buying up newspapers. So something fucky's been going on for a while, whether it be Sinclair that won out or Tribune, it doesn't really fucking matter. Something fucky's going on.
I would not mind saying goodbye to Ajit Pai.
Neither would I. He's a piece of shit.
He's a border
Piece of shit.
Be aware of what's happening in local media markets
Find out
around
who owns your fucking local media stations, people, and, you know, if you have to compare and contrast with your other local stations, and actually see what the fuck is going on. Sinclair has these, quote, must-run items that generally air during a local news station's local news product. So it seems like it is the local news outfit reporting on what the fuck they're saying. But in reality, they're owned by the people that are making them air that. I mean, we've been hearing about this shit for fucking ever. Everybody's like, bullshit, we're independent in the newsroom. No, that's not the case. To a degree, yes, but now it's creeping in.
John Oliver did a great piece on it.
Two.
If you want to, two pieces on it, actually. If you want to watch his pieces on Sinclair, they're both on YouTube. Just, you know, John Oliver Sinclair. Also, before we go, I want to mention that Benjamin Netanyahu is being investigated by the Attorney General of Israel for possible bribery charges and possible drug charges.
Get rid of that, dude.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic to see Bibi Netanyahu go bye-byes, by the way. But I don't know what the backstory is. I'm going to investigate it. I can't find much news on it because America sucks.
Right. America loves Israel, but we're going to get to the bottom of it.
I'm going to look for it for, if
Robert,
not...
drug charges don't seem so terrible, though. That seems fairly normal for...
I don't care what they get him on. I just want him to go away. I'm such a hypocrite right now. I know. It's awful. I'm such a hypocrite.
You'd have to do drugs to do
what he does
to those people. What he does to those people. You'd have to be on drugs, and I don't mean I mean definitely man-made drugs.
I don't think that they're saying he just ingested drugs. I think they're trying to implicate him in like a multinational drug running scheme.
Oh, that's not good.
So, you know, there's a line I draw, you know, like, I don't care if you're selling weed to your friends, but if you're selling heroin to children, I have an issue with you. Just say it.
So I can snort freaking like crystal meth out of a stripper's ass.
What?
But as long as it's just one, and not like 50 of them, and they're not 13.
What just happened? I don't think you can do that. I don't think as our drummer that you can do several of the things you just listed.
I hope your girlfriend is asleep.
Oh my god. We prefer you not to do any of those things. We love you, Red.
Well, have fun. Be safe.
He said he was going to do some meth or somebody's ass?
I don't know what he said. It was weird.
Had somebody's ass involved?
I'm pretty sure.
I can still hear you guys.
What?
I can still hear you.
I know, I was
know.
kidding. This has been the kitchen sink.
Yeah, we're out, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
The kitchen sink. With gear.
There was just kittens and fucking puppies and rainbows and bunnies. Bad.
How can you edit out a Pegasus?
Red.
I like unicorns.
And Doc.
Loose cannon! What have you got yourself into, man?
Everything.
And the kitchen sink.
Just sitting around freaking hanging out.
You know,
it's kind of like the Newsweek.
There's not much going on in the news.
It was just the news was just kind of hanging out.
You know, I've thought that the president being investigated by the FBI was kind of normal. You know, that's happened before, hasn't it?
Has.
That's happened before,
that makes
right?
it normal. Yeah, that happened before.
The kitchen sink.
Thursdays at 8 p.m.